A hand. Look, two hands. Hands go up and hands go down. I can turn them round and round. I can put them down here too. I can sit and so can you. Looking eyes sitting down. Story time is starting now. Hello. Hey everyone, I am so excited to be here today talking about storytelling, which is a wonderful way for us to connect with our young learners. And especially now during a pandemic, I don't know how it's in Europe, we're still doing a lot of virtual learning and or hybrid learning. So I find it that storytelling is a great way to connect with young learners and bring life to our classes. So today I'm sharing effective strategies for you to become a wonderful storyteller as well. So hands-on, I'm all about the hands-on. That's me. Let me see how we move this. I'm working on my tech skills. Still, I'm all about holistic learning, play-based and child-centered. And this is what we're looking at today. So we're looking at three things: how to pick a story, what are the key elements to pick a great story for young learners, 5 practical techniques for you to start using in your classes right away. And I'm also giving you a list of storybooks that I love and recommend, and hopefully you will share your books as well in the comments. Yay! So if you've got any questions during this training, please feel free to shoot them in the comments and I'll try to get them to them ASAP. Okay, so number 1, picking a story for kids. What are the key elements? What are the key elements? Oh, panda. Let's see. Rhythm. A story book for children should have rhythm, rhyme, repetition. 1, 2, 3. Rhythm, rhyme, and repetition, because that just engages them with the book. It locks them in the story, in a story session. And it also helps them learning about language, about the rhythm of language, and getting interested. Okay, a storytelling book for children should also have beautiful illustrations, and there is a key point in here that we need to think about when we're picking a book. Are these illustrations also inclusive? Are these illustrations bringing something that we believe in or something that we want to teach, such as equality of gender, social equality, of fighting racism? So does it have Black people and white people and Asian people, and how are these beautiful illustrated? What are they trying to teach? Because we overlook images a lot of times, okay? But we have, if we think about it, we have been exposed to images during our whole entire life through we call them outdoors here, but advertisements, magazines, just everywhere you look, there is a photo, and they are teaching you a message that is rooted so deeply in our brain. So this is why it's so important for us to think about what kind of pictures we're showing our kids, okay? Which brings us to the next key element of a great story, which is a great message. Does it teach about sharing? Does it teach about self-acceptance, self-love, or loving respect? Does it teach about the environment? Does it teach about respecting animals and so on, okay? Or does it, it's very important for us to ask, okay, you read a book, and before you bring it to your young learners, you go, okay, what is this trying to tell me? What's the message here? And this could be tricky. So it takes a bit of a reflection moment to discover the message that's behind a book. And you can do a little research too, if you're not really sure. Okay, and also it's very important that a storybook is age appropriate. Age appropriate. You don't want to tell a storybook that was written for a 9-year-old student, child, to a 3-year-old, because it's going to be too long. It's going to be, the language will be too complicated and so on. There are many elements that are going to be in the story that is appropriate for one age but not for another one. Okay, at the same time, you don't want to do the opposite because the story is going to be too silly or too they won't work for the older learners. Okay, any questions in here, anything you'd like to add, please shoot them in the comments. And moving on to our practical tips. Oh my God, Panda, you're on fire today. So number one practical tips is prep children. It's very, very, very important that we plan transition. So you're going to tell a story. That means you need to get them ready for the story, in the mood. So if you did a dancing moment, they're not ready for story. So you need to do a little breathing technique, maybe some stretching, play some calming down music. You need to help them getting ready for the story. I always do that, hands go up and hands go down, or at least a little chant such as story time, story time, story, story, story time. Or you could have a magic wand that you touch children with so they understand it's time for the story and they sit down. So that moment becomes clear, the transition becomes clear and concrete. Okay, we've got to keep in mind that time is very abstract. I mean, I got you ready for this session right here. I showed you what we're about to start, and I did the transition in the beginning, so our children need that as well. Okay, another wonderful technique is using props and realia. So whoops, I am very clumsy. So if you are about to tell a story about, let's say, the very hungry caterpillar that involves a leaf, so you can give them the hints in the camera or in live, if you're teaching face to face already. So look, what's this? I think, what do you think it is? And then they can have a go. I think it's an egg. Laying on a leaf. Look, a leaf. So you're pre-teaching key concepts of the story, key language for them to understand the story in an engaging way, because we've got realia and props. Okay, now you don't have to, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to spend a lot of money in your props. You can just have a walk around the house, have a walk around the block if you can, looking for strategic things you can use, okay, for your story. That will help you. Great props are handkerchiefs or tissues in general. Pom-poms. This was a pom-pom. It became an egg. Seriously, for a story, you can tell a whole entire story using only colorful pom-poms. Like the brown bear, you could have one pom-pom of each color representing every animal, and then you go, okay, so I've got a red bird in here. So red bird, I don't have red. I have red. Okay, I've got something red. Red bird, what do you see? So yeah, see this? It's a little paint container. So you don't have to go shopping crazy. You can use what you already have. I'm too excited. Can you tell I'm too excited? Okay. Also, hats are great for storytelling because you can become a witch with a hat, or a cowboy, or you can take them to a castle just by wearing a hat. And actual elements from your house, real household items. And also I find it very helpful to send parents a list of, when I can, a list of key elements that they can find around the house for the child to have on the other side of the screen. So we're still doing remote learning here in Brazil. I don't know how is it going in Europe? Are you back to face to face? Please let me know in the chat, so I have a bit of your context too. So it really helps if I have something orange here and they have something orange over there to represent something from the story. Yeah, okay, so that was number 2. Use props and realia if you can. Tip number 3, puppets. Oh, and this one we've got our friend Panda. Let's call him Panda. Panda.
Oh, hello. Did you call me?
Oh, yes, I did. Puppets bring so much life to your story.
Yeah? Am I a puppet?
Yes, you are, Panda. You're also my friend.
Thank you. Thank you. I love being a friend.
Children, when they see a puppet, their eyes just go, oh my God, you can see it shining. This excitement that you're seeing here, I hope you can feel through the screen, is the excitement you bring to your lessons when you have a puppet. And it doesn't have to be a puppet like Panda.
Why not? I'm wonderful.
I know, Panda, you are wonderful, but some people don't have a wonderful puppet like you. So you can print paper puppets and use it on your fingers. And that's great too for them if you can send them a copy and parents can print it. Or if you're teaching face-to-face, if you can print a copy and they can work with the cutting, so improving fine motor skills and getting ready for the story, and they can interact and retell the story as well. How wonderful is that, to just bring it to life? You can also use the spoons. See, if you're artistic, you can paint your puppets on a wooden spoon, and you can do puppets using popsicle sticks. Recycle. Yeah, so any questions? There are many other ways that you can create your own puppets. Okay, these are just a few suggestions, super easy for us. I know we are always super busy. We've got so much to do in our teaching life. Number 4, practice, practice, practice. In front of the mirror, with your pet, with your dog, with your child, with your parents, to the wall, in the shower. Just practice, explore your voice tones.
Your voices are so important because they become a new person.
I've got so many personalities hidden in me. You don't want to know about that. That's another talk. So your voices really bring a new person, a new character to the room. Your body language as well. Is it you're talking about an explosion, or it's the character really sad? And you can have your sound, add the sounds to see how I did that. Or poof, or pluk. Those little things make such a huge difference, and it doesn't take any materials, just you and practicing, your time to invest into practicing. You've got it in you. Nobody is born a wonderful storyteller. This is something that you develop. It's a skill that you develop, okay? And practicing is key for that. Moving on, your last but not least, practical tips. You can sing it out. Da, 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 da.
I love when you sing a story.
There is a whole entire pedagogy method for this. It's the Dalcroze pedagogy by, I'm not going to risk to say that name wrong. So by that wonderful researcher there that you see written, that you sing the story. So let me see if I can give you an example with the Gruffalo here. Okay, I'm going to jump into one of the pages. This is quite a long story. So do you know the Gruffalo? Why don't you know? He has terrible tusks and terrible claws and terrible teeth in his terrible jaws. He's the Gruffalo, Gruffalo, Gruffalo. And he goes, his eyes are orange, his tongue is black. And you just make a language that could have been too much, could have been complicated, could have been not easy to remember. You just flip that and kids will sing it with you. Before you know it, they can sing a whole story. Okay, and you can create your own rhythm in here, or you can go to YouTube someone has probably already done all the work for you. So you can go to YouTube or Google, research, find something that works for you, and use their strategy or their chants, give them the credits, of course, but you don't have to be the queen or the king of creativity. You can study a quick research. Yeah, Panda?
Yes, I love it when you sing a story.
Okay, so here, storybooks for young learners as promised. I've got a list of wonderful, wonderful storybooks for young learners. All you've got to do to know if they're age appropriate for your learners is run a quick Google search. So you put the title and then age group. Okay, so these three here are the family book by Todd Parr, and he's got many, many other wonderful books too. And do you see the colors? This book talks about different family settings. So all away from the traditional mommy, daddy, children. Okay, so it shows some families have one dad, some families have one mom, some families have two parents of this. So it talks about all of the differences, the possibilities that children will experience in life with their colleagues or maybe later on, and it brings that awareness and respect, really. Okay, so I love all of Todd Parr's books. This one, All Are Welcome Here. Oh my God, it's got such a beautiful place in my heart. Because do you see the photo, the front photo? It shows just life as it is, people as we are. It doesn't install a pattern that we need to follow, and that really devastates us as we grow up as different adults, and when we don't fit in. The problem that this whole fit in idea is that the structure that we see is always the same, and it's not true. It's a lie. So we need to stop lying for our kiddos, and showing them how to respect diversity, really, and love it and appreciate it, because diversity is beautiful. The world would be so boring if everyone was the same. Can you imagine just a bunch of beers walking around? They're like, oh, I'm out of this. Anyway, Happy in Our Skin talks about our different skin colors, and it brings out a cool discussion after. I don't know if that happens to you in Europe, but here in Brazil, we often hear children asking for the skin color pencil, which is peach. I'm not peach. I do not know a lot of people who are actually peach, but it's just this is a starter for that conversation, to fight racism from when we're little. Okay, we are different in so many ways, and our skin is just another way to show our uniqueness. Oh, I'm so reflective today. Okay, ta-da! Here is a huge storybook list for you that I have used during my 10 years of experience teaching young learners, and that have a beautiful message, wonderful illustrations, rhythm, rhyme, repetition, so you can really teach the language in a meaningful way, and also teach them something for life. Okay, life skills, social emotional skills. Okay, I like myself. I love this one just the way I am. The message is to like yourself. Obviously, The Very Hungry Caterpillar is about a life cycle of a butterfly, and how, where's my caterpillar? I had it set here for you. Oh, here. And how little ones are caterpillars. Maybe they can relate to that little tiny caterpillar that bloom into a butterfly that will become a beautiful, free, unique butterfly. And it also talks about food and healthy, unhealthy. There's just so many ways you can dissect the story. The color monster behind me is all about feelings and embracing our feelings and how we can. The book shows one strategy for children to separate their feelings into little jars. And then the sadness goes here and the happiness, this is what angry looks like, and it's okay to have all those feelings. And this is how we can deal with them. So it's a huge conversation for young learners because they're struggling with all those big emotions, and it's our role to help them understanding their emotions and understanding it's okay to be angry, it's okay to be sad, it's okay to be excited, and so on. And this is how we can cope with these feelings. The Gruffalo, he's the Gruffalo, Gruffalo, Gruffalo. A mouse took a stroll through the deep dark woods. A fox saw the mouse and the mouse looked good. So the fox, it's all about the mouse journey. Little tiny mouse in the deep dark woods, so very scary. For us, I feel like we are always in a journey through the deep dark woods, and then the mouse meets different animals that want to eat him, but he's so clever that he creates a Gruffalo. And so it works with problem solving skills and creativity. He creates a Gruffalo, and it's the scariest creatures in the wood. And then in the end, he meets the Gruffalo, and then he solves that problem again. And I won't tell you the end of the story. So you can find it on YouTube, or you can contact me, and I'll tell you the story. Giraffes Can't Dance mixed a colorful story. Is all about colors again, fighting racism in a child-friendly way. It's all about blue and yellow, so it's got primary colors getting mixed and creating new colors. So you've got that science and art concept, but also accepting new colors in the concept of getting mixed. The Mixed Up Chameleon, all about self-acceptance too. The chameleon wants to be like everybody else, but in the end, he realizes it's just best to be himself. And Dear Zoo, I wrote to the zoo, to who? The zoo. I wrote to the zoo to send me a pet. It's just so much fun, this book. Very simple, very quick, and it opens up, it talks about problem solving too a little bit, and great to bring the adjectives. He was too scary, so I sent him back. And you can start a creativity project with this. So create another animal that's not in the book, and what is the problem with that animal, why would you send it back? So a lion is too fierce, which is not a problem, which is a characteristic of that animal, and so I sent him back, and so on. Okay, any other books that you can suggest in the chat? Oh my god, we've got 20 things in the chat. Yeah, I know, the time flew. So send book suggestions in the chat, please, so everyone can have the ultimate book list. Beautiful, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so here, thank you so much everyone for being here. Let's connect. I've got so much more to share with you. You can find me on Instagram. I'm at Hello Simple English, which is my fun immersion program for children. You can also find me on Facebook, and I'm also a ELT Plus specialist, so you can find me on this link too and have support straight from me. And my next project is all about
storytelling,
virtual storytelling, and how the screen becomes a portal. So I've got so many more techniques to share with you that it didn't fit in this 30 minutes. So I've got a whole course for you, designed for you. So find me on Instagram and let's chat, and we can get you signed up. Yeah?